Hi everyone, it's Georgia and welcome to Mama's Soul Food. I hope you are having a really good day. There's some noise in the background and I hope that doesn't drown out this message, but I wanted to make a video. I'm in this beautiful little spot. I don't know if you can see the pool in the background. Oh, and my little floaty is right there. And I have to say, I've just been slowly relaxing into the past few days of a little break before I go on to some more new adventures. And you know what was interesting about choosing this spot, which my daughter helped me pick, is that I chose what I wanted to. I chose what I wanted without any fear. And that kind of has been a theme this whole week because I've been watching how fear has been trying to creep into everything that I am doing and not doing. Because when you don't do things that you know you want to do or your inner self is asking you to do, it's just the dance of fear with yourself and what the possible outcomes might be, including the arrival of whatever feelings might happen. So to me, you know, this whole taking a few days to reconnect with myself has been this kind of reminder of what do you do when fear comes and sits right with you. And I used all my practices and I still am using those practices because, you know, it's always sort of my goal is to not be afraid, because when we don't have fear, we are free. We are in freedom. And freedom has been an important word this past week. The other thing that kind of came up was a purging. It's when you allow this space for yourself to reconnect with yourself and with other people, which of course is delightful and fun. But when you keep coming back to who you are and giving yourself the time that you need to truly reconnect, not just to relax and read a book. That's one thing. That's decompression. But to truly relax and connect within, that requires a letting go of other priorities. So all that you're left with is you and your inner self. Because the mind usually takes a few days to kind of clear out when you give yourself some space. And then, you know, there is that circle of the inner self. And so for me, some of the things that came up was a lot of feelings, a lot of purging, a lot of feelings, a lot of crying. You know, I think it was everything I have put on a shelf over this past, in particular, uh, 11 months. Because sometimes when we're in survival or coping mode, we can't always let all of those feelings have their equal due that they deserve. So I think my feelings caught up with me a little bit and finally needed to have a voice, at least with me, because that's the voice that matters. And I understand that feelings are hard for people to sit with. I've just gotten, you know, a little better at it over the past years, because even when the feeling is intense, I know now that it is there to show me something. It is there not to dominate, but as part of who I am, whatever that feeling might be. And last night I also let myself watch that Mr. Rogers movie. And the permission he gave for feelings. I don't know if there's anybody who's done as good a job, especially with children. Even watching it last night, it was such a wonderful reminder that I can give myself permission to have whatever feelings I'm having. It doesn't mean I have to do anything with them. It doesn't mean I even have to act on them. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything other than my feelings want representation. And the other thing about feelings is we always think that they're this they don't change, but feelings change all the time. So every time, especially for me over the last few days, there's been this beautiful, beautiful release of feelings. It's almost like cleaning and just kind of cleaning another layer off and seeing what comes up again. And that's okay. It's okay mostly because it's me, and I honor and love myself for whatever it is I'm feeling. Trying really hard not to judge my feelings anymore. And it's okay because I'm a human being having a human experience in a very human world. It's full of human error, including the errors I make myself. So I think all in all, I've just been letting myself be human this week. And that's a good thing. Well, I also bought some new Oracle cards. They are called the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetypes. And I was just, of course, drawn to the words wild and unknown because first, I'm feeling like there are some things ahead of me that feel very unknown. And there's also a part of me that's wanting to be more, I don't know what the word wild means, just more free and wild in that sense. I used to be really connected to my wild, but it got shut down for a little bit, mostly because I had healing work to do, and now I'm ready to be a little wild. So we'll find what that means to Georgia. But what I also love is that these cards are round, and this is yesterday's that I picked called the Queen. I haven't read it yet because, but I just think these are very cool. I'm going to show you some of the pictures. And this is by a woman named Kim Krantz, Kranz. Of course, the guidebook is very tiny, and I'm going to have to read from it. We'll see if I can. That is always the $1 million question. I had a nice exchange with a gentleman this morning who lost his glasses. And so I gave him my glasses because he was lost without his glasses, and we were trying to read labels. And he said, "Are you sure?" I said, "It's okay." And so he gave me my glasses back at the end of our shopping. And I said, "Thank you so much." And I just thought, in these little places, we find each other when we need help seeing, and we need just to be helped and shown an act of simple kindness. It goes a long way. The humming in the background is the pool filter. You know what? I kind of like having a pool. I would aspire to having a pool someday in my own life. It feels so good just to move every day and be in water, which of course is such an earth element. All right, me and my talking and jabbering. Let's see what comes up. I've only worked with these once, so we'll see. See if I can give you one more. 2. Alrighty, the first. Oh my God. The first one is called The Poet. And this is so awesome because I'm making a commitment to myself about advancing my poetry work. And this is awesome. But I love it because if you look closely at the card, there's all these crows in the background. And it's almost as if the poet is looking within, at the light within themselves. Oh, and it even looks like a volcano. Holy macaroni, and all those blackbirds taking flight. You know, it's interesting because this morning, in the, when I was driving to the beach, like at 6 o'clock this morning, 6:30, um, there was rows and rows of blackbirds, and I was like, I had a feeling it was important. So I just want to see what this says. This is called The Poet, and the poet's work is to feel immensely and not be afraid. Can you believe that? Hmm. The poet's work is to feel immensely and not be afraid. I love that. Maybe we're all poets, huh? They must seek out truth in the darkest corners of the world and carry it back for all to see. This unique capacity resides within us all, regardless of our relationship to creativity. When the poet energy is present, there is a call for deep honesty and reflection, for seeing the big picture within the little one. Oh, that's the other thing I've been trying to do this week is, when you're working on grief, um, you have to see that there's a bigger story sometimes in order to kind of feel hopeful. The poet rides effortlessly between the personal and the universal. It's possible that others may not seem to listen or care about the poet's work. Yeah, even other poets don't care about my work, but it's okay. I care about my work, and I know God likes me to write poetry. But don't be discouraged. The words of the poet ring true for centuries to come, soothing the wounds of despair and violence that captivate our world. The poet's work is never finished. Find your voice and trust that the wind will carry it. Well, that really resonates with me, and I hope it resonates with you in some way. And then they have these cool little notes. So there's the description, and there's the little notes. And if I can read it, the poet, it's likely that there's a poem or poet that was meaningful to you at a young age. Revisit and reread it now. Be open to its message. Who was that one poet that wrote all those touchy feelings? Not Cahill Gibran. Kavanaugh. I think it was Kavanaugh. I'm going to go back and look at that. Anyways, that is delightful. And I may not read the rest of these, but I find them interesting. So I just want to say that then I got the one, and then I got the heart. So I got poet, the one, and the heart. That's lovely. You know what I'm feeling this morning? I feel as though this notion that poetry is universal, and it does connect us in the heart. And, it's crazy, but numbers 30 and 31. Interesting. It's crazy, but we're at this crazy time of divisiveness. And I don't know about you, but I want to be with tribe and not fight other tribe. I want to create tribe and not dismiss tribe. And that idea that the poet is this language connector, this bridge of connection into our oneness, into our commonness, into our hearts. I don't know where else we're going to be able to overcome our differences unless we all kind of have a chance to find places where we can mutually come into our hearts together. Anyways, I hope you have a good day. I hope that was fun. See what other adventures arise. And enjoy yourself today. There was the song that was going through my mind. I have a lot of songs going through my head. Sometimes they mean things to me. And what was that one song? Okay. Slow down, move too fast. Gotta make the morning last night. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Feeling groovy. So, whatever groovy feels like to you, I hope you get a chance to enjoy it today. I better learn the words to that song if I dare to sing.